Oh snap. What's that? What's that? A hat? Crazy, funky, chunky hat overslept. Hair slightly. What child? You look like Kira. What? We've been there. We've done that. We see right through yo. Hey. When it was. I know I thought I was gonna start the video correctly, but I lied. I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to fix up stuff because of course this is all impromptu. Of course. So I think I need to put this. Okay, so I don't have a tripod, right? Already struggling. I don't have a tripod, right? Anymore. It broke like a couple years ago or so. I think it broke around the time I used to do YouTube videos like on camera, so like years ago. So I am using this box and then a book on top of the box, and my camera is on top of the book, and I'm going to use this cover to lift up my camera ahora. So excuse me, bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. What is that? Why did it just do that? Oh my gosh, I've never seen my camera do that before. What the heck? Did I press something? Okay. Oh my gosh. Or when it was. Okay. Normally people do this kind of stuff like before they press record. So pardon me. Pardon me, darling. Pardon me, darling. Bueno, I think I'm good. I look orange, but what's new? Like, let me see. I could try to like change my. Never mind. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not gonna make a difference. I am brown, so I'm just gonna look like different. It's not worth it. I already know it's not worth it. Okay, boys. But I can't tell. Is it slanted? Okay. Let me actually like start the video. Well, no, I tried to fix the light. I just alternated the color mode to another one. The light is coming from my mirror, but it's just not working with me right now. I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, it's 12:27 in the morning. It's 12:27. It's 12:27. 12:27. It's 12:27. It's 12:27. In other words, it's late, so I should just begin. And don't watch the begin again. Okay, I mean, I don't look yellow or like orange, or it's like that weird color, but I don't know. I'm like, do I like this? I don't think I like this color. I don't think I don't know, but hold on, I'm gonna go back to the other one and see. Okay, so this is normally, yeah, you see how I look orange? Like, hey, what? That's how I look. And it's not necessarily bi, actually. I think that, like, you know, like the orange is fine, but I don't know if it's going to look that orange when I edit it. Like, I think I'm looking very Willy Wonka right now. Very much like I belong in the factory. Let me go back and change one more time. Okay, so this is it, orange, and then this is okay. Okay. It's focusing. I'm gonna give it a moment. Can you focus on me, baby? Are you focused? The little viewfinder is following me. I think it's focused. I think so. I think it's good. But you could tell I have not done this in so long. And honestly, I think I may be a little bit nervous. Like, it's a tad bit nervous. Because, well, no, I guess I'll just start the video. I think I'm gonna just start the video. Well, no. Alrighty, so I don't have an intro right now. I think my former intro was something like, "Que lo que mi gente, welcome to my channel," or "welcome back to my channel." I don't remember what I used to. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what my intro is. Sorry, that was like, but whatever. I honestly don't even know how to start this video. I can't lie, right now I feel like really nervous, and there's a part of me that's like, do I really want to do this? Like, I'm literally still like questioning myself right now, even though I already pressed record, and even though I've thought about this for God only knows like how long, you know. But I think that I should listen to my intuition. I think I should just begin, and I think I'll find my words, and I think I'll find my way. I do feel a tad uncomfortable right now, so I am gonna put on something so I can feel like enveloped, you know. Plus, you know, I do feel just like a little bit chilly, but no, I just want to be like enveloped as if I'm like being hugged right now, because I feel like I need to hug myself. I feel scared. I feel scared, but it's like, I don't know. It's not just fear. Like I said, I feel nervous, and I feel I literally have a song, and I'm like, I hear my song in my head. The song is called Core, I think, and it's like, I feel nervous down to my core. Does it come from me asking for more? Is this part needed? Do you need it? 'Cause I'll come around, no, come around, no. That's what I hear in my head. Every time I say I'm nervous, I hear myself saying, I feel nervous down to my core. Does it come from me asking for more? And it does. I think I know that doing something different will result in something different, and I don't know where choosing to do this is going to take me, and that's what makes me nervous. That's what makes me go back to that place in my mind that like, oh, I'll just stay quiet, I'll just like keep it all to myself, you know. But like I said, I've just thought about this choice, this decision, this video, this series, if you will, this series of videos for quite some time, and yeah, I think I can't shake it, probably because it's part of like my next chapter. So anywho, I don't mean to speak in like all these innuendos and stuff, and when I look that way, it's because I have my TV right there, and my TV has the time as a screensaver. It's just like an analog clock, and yeah, I'm just aware. I'm just like trying to keep track of the time, because it is like quite late. It is after 12 a.m. and yeah, anywho. Also, like, I don't want to be too long, but yes, like, so anywho, as I said, I know I like maybe speaking like in innuendos. It all makes sense. It all makes sense when I start talking. It all makes sense one day. Like, if you've watched all these videos and you come back and you're like, ah, no wonder she was like so shy in the beginning. Yeah, it'll make sense, because like what I'm getting ready to do is very much I don't want to say out of my character or anything. No, it's just very bold. And I guess what I'm getting ready to do is tell the story, tell my story, the story of the Emancipated Star. That's what I call it. That's what I'm titling this video series. Essentially, this is me. What I want to do throughout this video series, if you will, is tell the stories of like the most impactful, gratifying, gut-wrenching, most severe, but really just the most impactful moments of my life before, during, and after I became an emancipated minor at the age of 16 years young. I've never done that before. I have so many videos on my channel, yes, and I would say that the majority of them are about emancipation. And actually, like, what I can tell, like when I think about it, is that for so long I've wanted to tell my story, but I've been scared, I've been shy, I've been scared, and yet I've felt like the calling to do so. And I think part of it is because like over the years, people have told me, you know, like, your testimony is remarkable, like you should write a book. I did write a book, here it is. You know, I did, but I wrote a poetry collection. I didn't even tell all of the details. And I still in some ways like protected my abusers, because I was a teenage girl at the time, and I was still like in that mind frame that I needed to protect everybody else, that I needed to like consider like my younger siblings, all my biological siblings, the other people who were my caregivers, and other people that I lived with like along the way, like or throughout my upbringing. You know, I thought about everybody except for me. And I think what has dawned on me now that like my prefrontal lobe that everyone likes to talk about on the internet, your prefrontal lobe, and how it develops when you're 25 or after the age of 25. Yeah, I think that has happened. Like last year I turned 25, and I think that ever since then I've been processing things so deeply, and like a lot of memories have been coming to me, and I think it's like it's been so heavy on my heart and my mind because now I'm an adult, right? I'm a young adult. I think you don't really become a young adult until you turn 25. Like from 18 to 24, you're a pre-adult, you know, because that lobe hasn't formed, right? So you don't even think about things like the way you do after you turn 25, after you're like 26, 27, whatever. Like after you're on the other side. I'm now on the other side. Now I'm like I'm a young adult, and I think about things now like as an adult, I guess, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe that I was a child and those things happened to me. I can't believe the adults did those things to me, because now I'm an adult, a young adult, but now I'm like where they were, and they could have made better decisions, and the things that were done to me did not have to happen. And I get that now. I feel like the weight and like the sorrow of that now. And I think what's also been heavy on my mind and my heart is like knowing that nobody cares. Like nobody cares at all about what happens to you. It seems like people don't care what they do to you. They really only care that you don't tell other people about it. Like I don't want to say I'm sure, but I can imagine that if I actually get the courage to save this video and upload this video and go through with this series and actually talk about what happened to me from the beginning all the way up until like the present, as it pertains to like my emancipation and being a foster child, being, you know, going through family reunification and emancipation, all that kind of stuff. I think that there would be some people who would feel inclined to reach out to me and say things to me, but they wouldn't have said those things to me if they didn't see me like on the internet talking about these things. And to me, that is a shame. It is a shame that people don't seem, that for the most part, it seems like people don't care, or they don't even consider like the impact that they have on you, or that that their behavior has on you, only until other people find out about it. And it's not because they really care about how they impacted you. It is because when you break your silence and you start talking about things, now you make it harder for them to create more victims. Now they have to be more clever about how they prey on other people, how they abuse and how they hurt other people. The longer that you stay silent, the more you allow the debauchery and all of the abuse, all the harm, all the mistreatment, whatever it is, you allow it to continue. In fact, there is a quote that just came to mind. I used to have this quote on my quote wall, and it's something like, people and systems count on your silence, or it's people and systems count on our silence to keep us exactly where we are. People and systems count on our silence to keep us exactly where we are. In other words, things will stay the same. Things will not change until you finally say something, until you do something. I learned that quote when I was in high school, and that's actually what motivated me to write my poetry collection, to publish my poetry collection called Things I Never Said. I wrote most of those poems when I was like 16, 17, 18, and I published a poetry, and 19, and I published a poetry collection when I was 19. And yeah, that one of the biggest inspirations for me when I was writing that project was that quote, that people count on your silence to keep you where you are. It isn't until you say the things you never said, and it isn't until you do the things you've never done, that you will see a change, and that you break those chains, you know. So I guess that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I want to do. I don't want to carry like, I think some things will stay with me. That's just what PTSD is, you know. But I don't want to carry like the sorrow and the hurt and you know, the shame that I have carried for so long, like regarding how I grew up, if you could call it growing up. You know, I really feel like I just survived and then I just arrived here. Like I don't even feel like any of my caregivers prepared me for adulthood. It just seems like everyone, I don't want to start crying, it's like so early into this, but it just seems like everyone it seems like the people that were my caregivers, the people that were given the task or the responsibility of caring for me, like forgot that I was a child. It seems like along the way, people forgot that they were dealing with a child, like a small person who couldn't advocate for herself and, you know, who just did not have anywhere else to go. And people exploited that. People took advantage of that. People exploited me. They abused me. They took advantage of me. And here I am now at the real start of my young adulthood. And it feels like all I have, like more than everything else, is like fear. Like I feel afraid of this world. I feel afraid like that people will hurt me for no reason because, well, throughout my upbringing, people just hurt me for no reason. And I mean, I can imagine that like overall the reason may have been, or the underlying reason may have been like that they were just mentally and emotionally stunted individuals. But now that I am a young adult, and especially the way I've gone throughout my upbringing and my adulthood, I understand like people have choices. We have choices. So yeah, even if your parents failed you, that's not an excuse to fail yourself. That's not an excuse to go out and harm and hurt other people. So the idea of like, oh, they were just doing what they knew how to do, or they were just doing what other people did to them, yeah, I guess that works like when you're a child. But when you are in a, I guess, over the age of 18, or just when you're like in a position where now you're responsible for yourself, you have a choice. And so I can't just dismiss or like I can't just tell myself that like, oh, everything that was done to me is just because those people like just didn't know any better. I don't think so. I think that they didn't care to do better. I think that they didn't care for me. I think they didn't care that they were supposed to be my caregivers. I think maybe they didn't see like the error in their ways, maybe, but I think that they didn't think about the impact, the lasting impact that it would have on me. I think the things I'm getting ready to share, I can imagine that most of the people like who the stories pertain to and who the stories involve, they probably are surprised I can remember. But yes, I can remember Hurricane Katrina. I can remember a portion of my time in foster care, a lot of the traumatic things, of course, more than anything else. I can remember a lot of things. And I think that's what's been heavy on my heart, heavy on my spirit, heavy on my soul, is that I cannot forget. And I actually don't want to. I don't want to forget. I not only do I not want to forget what was done to me, I want to document what was done to me. I want to, if nothing else, there's a quote. I know I'm full of quotes and my thoughts are like all over the place, but I'm connected. There's a quote and it's something like, it's not what you gather, it's what you scatter and leave behind that tells the kind of life that you live. Something like that. It's like, it's not what you gather, it's what you scatter behind that tells the world like what kind of life you live. And something like that. So like if I could leave anything behind, if you want, I'm not going anywhere, right? I'm just saying, but like if there's one thing I want to do, it's document my life experience. I want this world to know what we do to one another. I want people to know what the adults do to the children. I want people to know what happens in these foster homes, at least what I saw. I want people to know what happens when you take a child and you rip a child from a child's biological parents and then put a child in a foster home and then take the child and put the child back with another group of family, like how and call it family reunification and all this kind of stuff, family separation, youth displacement, and then you go through emancipation. I want to document that because I recognize like I believe we all have the courage, but many people won't act on it. Many people will not be courageous enough to say the most uncomfortable part out loud, even though there is healing in it, even though that is really the only way. Like, you have to first acknowledge what you've gone through. You have to acknowledge how it hurts, that it hurts. You have to acknowledge that you feel something, and that it may be a negative emotion or 3 or 5, you know. Like, it starts with just acknowledging it. And yeah, I think that we all have the courage. I truly believe that quote is something like, we all have everything that you need, you have it inside of you. Like, I believe that. I didn't understand it so much as a child, especially a child who grew up like so poor and, you know, disadvantaged and stuff. But in terms of like character, in terms of like everything you want to be, you already are. You just have to step into it. You just have to walk into it. You just have to believe it, and then you have to activate it. And that's what I want to do. I don't want to be a coward, especially like throughout the rest of my life. Like I said, I feel like I survived my childhood. I don't know how. Sometimes I cry because I'm like, I can't believe like I went through that, and I can't believe like I'm here. Like, I pinch myself sometimes, I hold myself just like this, because I'm like, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe, like, I was held at gunpoint when I was like 10. Like, I can't believe I'm here. So yeah, I want to document it. I want to talk about it. I want to document it. I think I may just like turn the comments off, because honestly, like, with all respect, I don't really care like to hear what other people have to say. Like, no offense, but this is so not for other people. Like, this is so not content. This is like my life, and this is like the weight and the sorrow that I want to get off of me. And no, I'm not trying to trauma dump or anything like that, like some people do on the internet, and some people say like people are doing, and all that kind of stuff. I get it. Like, I do see some of that. But no, I want to inform, like I said, I want to inform people what we're doing to one another, how human beings are treating one another, and where I think a lot of it stems from, you know, like being mentally and emotionally stunted and not doing the work. So I want to inform people, and I want to inspire people. I want to inspire people to prioritize self-care and personal development. Self-care and personal development, because the better you are for the more you work on yourself, the better you will be for this world and other people and your job and your family, your relationships, whatever. Like, it starts with you. It all starts with you, and the quality of your character, the quality of yourself. Like, it starts with the value you place on yourself, the care that you place on yourself. I realized that when I was a teenager. That's why, in addition to my poetry collection, I also went ahead and wrote my personal development course called The Journey to Self-Love. It's called The Journey to Self-Love because I embarked on that journey when I was a teenage girl. I was 18. It was like the summer of 2017. I was like waiting to go off to university, and I was bored. I was working, but I was bored, and I wanted something to do, and something happened. I'll tell that story like when I get to that part in the series, I guess. But something happened, and I just doubted myself so much, and I just assumed like the best of someone else, and I realized that I didn't think that well of myself, and I was like, oh no, like I do not want to like enter my 20s. I was 18, but I was like, I don't want to enter my 20s and like think so lowly of myself, especially because I turned out to like not have done anything wrong, and I knew I didn't do anything wrong, but I just like thought of that person as above me, and I realized that like I had this habit of seeing the beauty in everyone, the radiance in everyone, but when it came to me, due to like my biological mother and my biological sisters like really convincing me that I was like the most hideous thing and like the most worthless thing, like they really broke my spirit, broke me down, and I had already gone through like all this abuse in the foster home. And so by the time I was 18, like my self-esteem was like practically crushed, and I had done some work already, like with a social worker, like starting in my sophomore year, but I realized I had a lot more work to do, and I wasn't gonna wait until I could afford, you know, like a psychiatrist and all this other stuff, like when I'm like wealthy. And I didn't want to wait. I'm like, no, I already didn't like my upbringing. I didn't like my childhood. I didn't have a childhood. I didn't really like my adolescence. And I don't want to go through my young adulthood and like dislike that too, you know. So I wanted to get started on the work, and I did. And I wrote this for myself. I literally wrote this for myself. I only decided to publish it, just like with my poetry collection, I only decided to publish those things for the other people who I figured may appreciate them, learn from them, gain inspiration from them. But honestly, it's all for me first and foremost. It's because I'm trying to and striving to heal myself from everything that I like suffered from and endured and survived throughout my upbringing. And yeah, I just like, this is for me. So like I said, I may turn off the comments. Maybe one day I'll turn them on, but I don't want to be like, I don't even check my YouTube comments anyway. Like I don't have notifications on or anything. I just don't even want to see it. I want to just document all of this so that I never forget. I don't want to have children. I don't want to be married. I just want my peace. But if I ever decide to, I would want my hypothetical child, my daughter, to know from me, like to hear it from me, what happened to me and where she comes from. Because like I said, I was a foster child. I actually met my birth parents later on, and I hardly know anything about them. And I don't even have any pictures from my time in the foster care. Like if I didn't remember these things, it would literally be like it never happened, because they didn't allow me to like keep the mementos and stuff when I was like transferred to my parents' custody and stuff. So yeah, I don't want to like forget these things. I want to document it, but I also don't want to carry it like for the rest of my life into my young adulthood, because underneath the weight, underneath the sorrow, underneath the pain, there's so much joy and creativity and goofiness and silliness actually. And I'm sure that like once I clear all this, like the trauma, or like the weight of the trauma off of my like my spirit or off my soul, then I think I will feel like lighter. And I definitely feel much better now, like because I've done so much work. But I know that it's still there. The weight of it is still there because I don't say anything, and it comes out sometimes when I talk to people. And you know, I start crying about things, or which is fine, it's natural, right? Like some things may just always hurt. It's okay. But like I understand that like I need to free myself, free my mind and free myself. And like I said, if I ever get the courage, like much later, I'm like way too young for like a child now, like to have a child, but like, you know, like towards the end of my 30s or something, or like my early 40s or whatever, like after I've really lived my life and established myself and my wealth and my healing and all that kind of stuff, I would want my hypothetical child to know from me what happened to me and like where she comes from and all this other stuff. So this is really for me, but I may allow the people who come across the video, of course, to learn from me and to hear from me, but silently. But silently. The objective and the most important part is getting started and then just going through with it. Like once I have done that, I've already won, and I've done the hardest part. So that's really what I want to do, just get to the other side of like doing the hardest part. So anywho, I think I said a lot, and oh my gosh, it is late as heck. So anywho, this is like 22 minutes long. Okay, boys, I think that's a good length. I'm gonna have to edit all these videos, and I'm gonna have to figure out like what I want to say. But I don't know. I don't like write scripts or anything, and I definitely don't want to like script any of this. So I don't know. I'll just think about like where to start. I don't even know where to start, but I don't know. I guess I'll just start from the beginning, but in another video. Anywho, like, am I really gonna do this? 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 I'll save this and I'll think about it. But anywho, on that note, I would say, I remember my outro. I remember my outro. On that note, I would say, tata mi amores, take care. In an instant, anatomy all I see, and the lights get out.